There's going to be the Liberty. This is in no order, by the way, at all. This is the 4 teams that I think could win a WNBA championship. Well, I saw this and was like, wait a minute, what? Is this being serious? I think for most of us, if you got half a brain, you think to yourself, there's 4 top teams in the WNBA now. All right. The Liberty, the Aces, the Lynx, and the Fever. All right. I think that's reasonable. In what order? We don't know yet.
No chance Fever make playoffs? That's what the WNBA media is screaming about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. But have they even looked at what's actually happening on the court? While they're busy writing hit pieces, Clark is literally practicing with her old Iowa team to help them beat USC. The same Clark who's been breaking viewership records since day one. Something doesn't add up here. And I'm about to show you why the media's ranking of Fever at 6th place might be the most disrespectful take of the season. So, the WNBA media just dropped another ridiculous article, and I'm honestly shocked at how disrespectful they're being to the Indiana Fever.
I tend to believe the Fever would have had a better record last year if somebody else would have been coaching them. Never mind Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham. I mean, the list goes on. All right, we got to remember the Indiana Fever had made a massive upgrade in one place that we haven't talked about enough. Stephanie White, the actual basketball coach, is a huge upgrade over Christy Sides. The acquisitions they brought in, re-signed Kelsey Mitchell, and this is the kind of disrespect. I can't even believe it.
They placed the Fever 6th in their power rankings, claiming they have a long way to go before being playoff contenders. Are you kidding me? Have these writers even watched a single game this season? Let's break down the absurdity here. The same article that disrespects the Fever somehow ranks the Phoenix Mercury at 4th place. What's crazy is the Mercury just went through a complete roster overhaul. Diana Taurasi retired, Brittany Griner moved to Atlanta, and Kalia Copper is literally the only returning player from last season.
So I checked the author, and when I found out that the author was the editor-in-chief for the Raptors HQ, has written for the Toronto Star, I assume that's an actual newspaper, that headline caught my attention. I was like, and look, we're going to start getting power rankings and things like that dropping. But this is a fan-sided site, and normally I probably wouldn't have done something from them. CBC Comedy, yeah, this is funny. You got that right. And Yahoo Sports Canada, I thought, okay, so this is somebody that fancies themselves as a legitimate journalist, ? Guys, you will not believe this.
They added Alyssa Thomas and some other pieces, but come on, a team with that much turnover gets ranked higher than the Fever, who've been building chemistry. And it gets even more bizarre. The Las Vegas Aces are sitting pretty at 3rd in these rankings, despite losing key players left and right. Their biggest change was trading away Kelsey Plum for Jalen Lloyd, who didn't even have a great season in Seattle last year. The article tries to justify this by mentioning Lloyd's Olympic and world champion skill beyond measure, but then glosses over all the talent and potential on the Fever roster. This is the perfect example of how the media creates narratives instead of analyzing what's actually happening on the court. The Fever added veteran leadership with Dana Bonner and Natasha Howard, retained their scoring machine in Kelsey Mitchell, and still have Aaliyah Boston developing alongside rookie phenom Caitlin Clark. They even upgraded at head coach with Stephanie White, but apparently none of that matters to these writers. Meanwhile, fans are voting with their viewership. Attendance records are being shattered at Fever games.
All right, you will not believe this. So, number one's the New York Liberty, right? Defending champions. All right. So, we got the Minnesota Lynx, the Feezy Collier. I'm still wondering, and the big question I've got is, how many of these players are going to be affected by playing in the Unrivaled? My point is, again, where's the Indiana Fever? We're at 5 now. This person put the Indiana Fever at number 6. Are you kidding me?
Social media engagement is through the roof. Even opposing players and coaches are acknowledging Clark's impact. They're designing specific defensive schemes just to contain her, while these writers are typing away claiming the team has no chance at playoffs. What's most telling is how disconnected these rankings are from reality. The writer actually acknowledged all the Fever's improvements in the same article where they claim the team isn't playoff worthy. When called out on this contradiction, their defense was basically, "Did you not see their starting lineup? Do you not know who's on this team? What the hell you mean a long way to go?" That's not analysis, that's just trying to generate clicks through controversy. The disconnect between media narratives and reality gets even crazier when you look at what Clark was actually doing while these hit pieces were being published. Imagine being a WNBA rookie with your entire professional career ahead of you, and what do you do with your precious time? You text your former college coach asking to practice with your old team before their big USC game. That's exactly what Caitlin Clark did, and it tells us everything about who she really is. Jan Jensen, Iowa's coach, couldn't believe it at first. She thought Clark was just joking around. I mean, what superstar rookie leaves their professional training schedule to help out their former college teammates? But Clark was dead serious. She genuinely wanted to help the Iowa players succeed against USC. No cameras, no publicity stunts, just Clark showing up to make her former team better. You know what's even more revealing? The Iowa players had absolutely no idea Clark was coming until the day before. Can you imagine that surprise? Lucy Olson, one of the Iowa players, admitted she was actually nervous about practicing against Clark. Think about that for a second. These are her former teammates who've seen her play countless times, and they're still intimidated by her skills. That's the kind of respect Clark commands from people who actually know her game. And when she stepped onto that practice court, Jensen said Clark was stroking it from 40 and doing amazing things during the session. This wasn't just a casual appearance. Clark was showcasing elite skills that have only improved since entering the pro ranks. While media critics are busy writing about how the Fever won't make playoffs, Clark is quietly getting better every single day. The impact of this practice session went beyond just a nice reunion. Iowa ended up beating USC in that game. Clark's contribution in practice, the experience she gave those players by competing against them, the confidence boost she provided, likely played a significant role in that victory. Her influence extends way beyond just her own team's success. This single story completely dismantles the media narrative about Clark. First, it shows her team-first mentality. She's not some self-centered rookie focused only on her own career. Second, it proves she's continuing to develop as a player, contrary to what critics might suggest. And third, it demonstrates the genuine respect she receives from peers who truly understand basketball, not hot take artists chasing clicks. So let's be real here. All this negative media coverage of Caitlin Clark and the Fever, it's just not matching up with reality. The media wants clicks, but fans are showing up in record numbers. That speaks volumes. What we're witnessing is a disconnect between what actually happens on the court and what gets published in articles. While writers claim the Fever has no shot, Clark's impact is undeniable. She's literally changing how the game is played and watched. The question isn't if the Fever will make playoffs, it's why some people seem so invested in their failure. What do you think? Will the Fever shock everyone this season?